Most people believe wealthy families stay rich because they simply make more money. They assume rich families just have better opportunities, better connections, or bigger paychecks. But the truth is far more interesting than that. History shows something surprising. About 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation, and nearly 90% lose it by the third. This pattern is so common that cultures around the world have sayings about it. In the United States, it's often called shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves in 3 generations. The first generation builds the wealth through hard work and sacrifice. The second generation grows up comfortable. The third generation often loses the fortune entirely. So if wealth disappears that easily, the real question becomes this: how do some families stay wealthy for generations? Because some families break this pattern completely. Their wealth survives for decades, sometimes even centuries. And it's not because they are lucky, it's because they follow systems. They build structures around money that allow wealth to survive long after the original earner is gone. Today we're going to explore 7 powerful hacks wealthy families use to stay rich for generations. These aren't secrets hidden behind vault doors, but they are habits and strategies that most people never learn. Once you understand them, you start seeing wealth differently. Let's start with the first one. Hack S-Own. Wealthy families build systems, not just income. Most people treat money like a paycheck. They earn it, they spend it, and whatever remains gets saved. But wealthy families think very differently. They don't focus only on making money. They focus on building systems that manage money automatically. A system removes the need for constant decision making. It creates rules, processes, structures. Instead of asking every month, what should we do with this money? The system already answers that question. For example, many wealthy families create clear investment strategies. A certain percentage goes into equities, another percentage into real estate, another portion into long-term funds. Some of it stays liquid for opportunities. These rules don't change every time the market moves. They stay consistent, and consistency creates stability. Think of it this way. Most people treat money like water flowing through their hands. Wealthy families build reservoirs that capture and store the water. Once the system exists, the wealth begins to grow almost automatically. Discipline becomes easier when the structure already exists, and systems can outlive the people who created them. That's the foundation of generational wealth. Hack #2. They teach financial literacy early. One of the biggest reasons inherited wealth disappears is surprisingly simple. The next generation doesn't know how to manage it. Suddenly receiving money without financial knowledge can be dangerous. Imagine giving someone a powerful sports car without teaching them how to drive. The result is often chaos. Wealthy families avoid this problem by teaching financial literacy very early. Children in these families often grow up hearing conversations about investing, businesses, and long-term planning. Money is not treated like a mysterious subject. It becomes a normal topic of discussion. Kids may receive small allowances that they learn to manage. Some families encourage children to invest a portion of their savings. Others involve teenagers in conversations about family businesses or investment decisions. The goal isn't to turn kids into financial experts overnight. The goal is to make them comfortable with the language of money. They learn about saving, investing, risk, compounding, ownership. By the time they become adults, money management feels natural. And that knowledge becomes the shield that protects wealth across generations. Because money without education disappears quickly. But money combined with financial wisdom can last for decades. Hack #3. They prioritize ownership over income. The middle class often focuses heavily on earning income. Better jobs, higher salaries, promotions, side hustles. And while income is important, wealthy families know something deeper. Income alone rarely creates lasting wealth. Ownership does. Income stops when work stops. Ownership continues producing value. This is why wealthy families focus on accumulating assets. Assets that generate income. Assets that appreciate over time. Assets that continue working even while the owner sleeps. These assets can include things like businesses, stocks, real estate, private investments, intellectual property. Each of these represents ownership of something productive. For example, owning shares of a company means you benefit from the company's growth. Owning rental property generates income every month. Owning a business can produce profits for decades. When families consistently convert income into ownership, something powerful happens. Each generation begins life with more assets than the previous one, and that creates momentum. Instead of starting from zero every generation, the starting line moves forward. Ownership compounds across time. That's how generational wealth grows. Hack 4. They protect wealth with legal structures. Building wealth is only half the challenge. Protecting it is just as important. Without protection, wealth can disappear through taxes, lawsuits, poor planning, or family disputes. Wealthy families understand this risk, so they often use legal structures designed to preserve assets. One common tool is a trust. Trusts allow assets to be managed and distributed according to specific rules. Instead of giving large sums of money directly to heirs, the trust can release funds gradually or under certain conditions. This helps prevent reckless spending. Another common structure is a family holding company. This allows multiple investments to be organized under a single entity. It can simplify management and protect assets from certain legal risks. Estate planning also plays a huge role. Without proper planning, a large portion of wealth can disappear through taxes when it is transferred between generations. Wealthy families plan ahead to minimize these losses legally. Think of these structures as a protective layer around the family's financial future. They help ensure that wealth survives transitions between generations. Without that protection, even massive fortunes can shrink quickly. Hack 5. They think in decades, not years. One of the biggest differences between average investors and wealthy families is the time horizon. Most people think about the next year, or maybe the next 5 years. Wealthy families think in decades, sometimes even generations. Instead of asking, what investment will perform best this year? They ask, what assets will still be valuable 20 or 30 years from now? This shift in thinking changes everything. Short-term market fluctuations become less important. Long-term growth becomes the focus. Many wealthy families hold investments for decades instead of constantly buying and selling. Why? Because time is the most powerful force in investing. Compounding rewards patience. A single investment that grows steadily for 30 years can outperform dozens of short-term trades. The longer the time horizon, the more powerful compounding becomes. This is why many wealthy families adopt a buy and hold mindset for core investments. They allow businesses, real estate, and markets to grow over time. Patience becomes a competitive advantage. And patience is easier when your perspective spans generations instead of quarters. Hack 6. They control lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation is one of the most dangerous threats to long-term wealth. As income increases, spending often increases just as quickly. A bigger house, luxury cars, more expensive vacations, higher monthly expenses. Soon the new lifestyle becomes normal. And even high earners feel financially stretched. Wealthy families understand this trap. They know that wealth grows from the gap between what you earn and what you spend. The larger that gap becomes, the more capital is available for investing. This doesn't mean wealthy families never enjoy luxury. They absolutely do. But they are often far more disciplined than people expect. Their spending grows slowly compared to their assets. That difference becomes the engine of compounding. Over decades, even small discipline in spending can translate into enormous wealth. And when that mindset is passed down to future generations, the family's financial foundation becomes incredibly strong. Hack 7. They build a culture of stewardship. Perhaps the most powerful secret of generational wealth isn't financial at all. It's cultural. Wealthy families often develop a shared identity around protecting and growing wealth. They see themselves not just as individuals, but as stewards of a legacy. Money becomes part of a larger story, a responsibility, something built through sacrifice by previous generations. When family members adopt this mindset, their behavior changes. Instead of asking, how can I spend this? They ask, how can I grow this? This creates long-term thinking. It encourages discipline, and it strengthens cooperation within the family. Some wealthy families even hold regular family meetings to discuss financial goals and investments. Others create written family mission statements about wealth and responsibility. These traditions reinforce the idea that wealth is something to be protected and nurtured, not just consumed. And that cultural mindset can be more powerful than any investment strategy, because culture shapes behavior, and behavior determines financial outcomes. The big lesson: when you look at families that stay wealthy for generations, a pattern becomes clear. It's not just about the amount of money they start with. It's about the system surrounding that money: financial education, ownership of productive assets, long-term thinking, legal protection, lifestyle discipline, and a culture of stewardship. When these elements work together, wealth becomes incredibly resilient. It can survive economic downturns. It can survive leadership changes. It can survive generational transitions. But without these structures, even massive fortunes can disappear surprisingly quickly. Money alone doesn't create generational wealth. Structure does. And that's why some families remain wealthy for centuries, while others lose everything within just a few generations.